In 2017, a group of urban explorers entered the abandoned Akasaka Tunnel in Tokyo. They were looking for ghosts. What they found was worse. Deep inside, past the graffiti and the decay, they found a chamber. The walls were covered in ancient carved warnings. And in the center of the room was a single, massive iron club, half buried in the dirt. One of them picked it up. The moment his hand touched it, the temperature dropped 20 degrees. A low growl echoed from the darkness, a sound that wasn't human. They ran. One of them didn't make it. His camera was found a week later. The last 30 seconds of footage show a pair of glowing red eyes in the dark and a voice that sounded like grinding rock, saying one word: "Get out." This wasn't a ghost. This was an oni. And in Japan, they are not a myth. Most people think of oni as the red-skinned demons from video games or anime. But that's like saying a hurricane is just a bit of wind. The oni are the original boogeymen of Japan. They are the reason for festivals, the subject of ancient folklore, and the explanation for everything that goes wrong in the dark. They are not just monsters. They are a fundamental part of the Japanese worldview, the embodiment of chaos, nature's wrath, and the darkness that lives inside all of us. Tonight, we're going to tell you the true story of the Oni. Not the cartoon versions, but the terrifying flesh and blood demons that have haunted the mountains, forests, and even the cities of Japan for over 1,000 years. The word Oni translates roughly to hidden thing or spirit, but their origins are shockingly diverse. Some are fallen gods cast out of heaven for their sins. Others are the vengeful spirits of the dead consumed by rage. But the most terrifying origin story? They were born from Japan itself. Ancient texts say that when the world was first formed, the islands of Japan were soft like jelly. The first gods needed to solidify the land, so they created the Oni as living tools, beings of immense strength to pack down the mountains and carve out the riverbeds. When their job was done, they weren't needed anymore. They became the wild, untamable spirits of the mountains, the forests, and the deep places of the earth. They are the original inhabitants, and they do not like visitors. The classic Oni is a terrifying sight, massive and muscular, often 10 feet tall or more. Red or blue skin, sometimes with horns. A tiger skin loincloth and that iconic iron club, kanabo. Sharp claws, wild hair, and a face that is a mask of pure fury. But this is just one type. There are dozens of others, each more horrifying than the last. If you think all Oni are the same, you're in for a rude awakening. The Oni have a family, and some of its members are truly nightmarish. The Onryo. These are the vengeful spirits of people who died with immense hatred. They are often female, with long black hair and white burial kimonos. They don't just want to kill you, they want to make you suffer as they did. The Gaki. Hungry ghosts, a type of Oni cursed with an insatiable hunger. They have needle-thin necks and bloated stomachs, forever starving but unable to eat. They are drawn to places of death and decay. The Tengu. Not all oni are mindless brutes. The tengu are bird-like demons with long noses. They are masters of martial arts and are known for kidnapping people, not to eat them, but to teach them a lesson or to drive them insane. The kappa, the most famous of all. These river-dwelling oni look like humanoid turtles. They drown people and animals, pulling them under the water to eat their shiriko-dama, a mythical organ inside the rectal opening. They are cunning, deadly, and they love sumo wrestling. For centuries, the oni weren't just feared, they were hunted. The imperial court in Kyoto employed oni slayers, elite warriors who specialized in exterminating the demons. The most famous of these was a hero named Minamoto no Raiko. In the year 995, a terrifying oni named Shutendoji set up a fortress on Mount Oe. He and his band of demons would descend on Kyoto, kidnapping nobles and priests and feasting on them in their lair. The city was paralyzed with fear. Emperor Ichijo ordered Raiko and his 4 best warriors to deal with the threat. Raiko knew he couldn't fight Shutennoji with brute force, so he used trickery. He and his men disguised themselves as traveling monks and brought the oni barrels of sake as a gift. The sake was actually a powerful poison. Shutendoji, arrogant and drunk, fell into a deep sleep. That's when Raiko and his men struck, beheading the demon while he slept. His head was brought back to Kyoto as a trophy. The story is still told today as a symbol of human courage triumphing over demonic evil. You'd think in a country of bullet trains and neon lights, the oni would be gone. You'd be wrong. They've just adapted. The Setsubun Festival. Every year in February, millions of Japanese people participate in Setsubun. It's a festival to drive away the oni. People throw roasted soybeans out their doors, chanting, "Oni wa soto, fuku wa uchi." Demons out, good fortune in. This isn't just a cute tradition, it's a nationwide act of spiritual defense. The cursed tunnels. Urban explorers and hikers still report oni encounters in the Aokigahara unalive forest. At the base of Mount Fuji, rangers have reported seeing figures that don't match any known animal. Hikers on the Nakasendo Trail, an ancient highway, speak of a demon that blocks the path, forcing them to turn back. The oni in pop culture. The oni are everywhere. In video games like Nioh and Onimusha, they are powerful bosses. In anime like Demon Slayer, they are the central antagonists. But here's the thing. In almost every modern depiction, they are given a tragic backstory. They were once human, or they are driven by a deep sorrow. This is a modern attempt to understand an ancient fear, to give a face to the faceless horror. But perhaps the most important oni is the one you can't see. In Japanese Buddhism, the most powerful oni is not a physical creature. It is the personification of your own inner demons, greed, anger, jealousy, and ignorance. It is the part of you that craves violence and destruction. The famous no play, Hagoromo, the feather mantle, tells the story of a fisherman who steals the magical feather cloak of a celestial being, an Oni-like spirit. He is driven by greed, and his actions bring chaos to the world. This story is a warning. The greatest monster is not in the forest. It's in your own heart. This is why the Oni masks used in traditional theater are so terrifying. They aren't meant to represent a creature you might meet in the woods. They are a mirror. When you look into the snarling face of an Oni, you are supposed to see your own potential for darkness. Despite the modern world, reports of Oni encounters haven't stopped. They're just quieter. The Highway Ghost, 2005. A truck driver on the Temei Expressway reported being forced off the road by a massive red figure that appeared out of nowhere. He swore it was an Oni. His dashcam footage from that moment was corrupted. The Mountain Shrine, 2011. A family hiking in the Japanese Alps took shelter in an old, abandoned shrine. During the night, they heard a rhythmic pounding sound, like a giant hitting the walls with a club. They also heard a low, guttural chanting. They left before dawn and never spoke of it again. The Apartment, 2019. A woman living alone in Osaka reported that for weeks she would come home to find her furniture rearranged and deep scratches on her walls. She set up a camera and captured footage of a tall, shadowy figure moving through her apartment in the dead of night. The police report described it as a possible intruder, but the woman was adamant. It wasn't a person, it was an Oni, angry that I built my home on its land. So what do you do if you think you've met an Oni? Traditional folklore has some advice. Do not show fear. Oni are attracted to fear. They feed on it. Show courage, even if you have none. Do throw roasted beans. It's the classic defense. It won't kill a powerful Oni, but it might annoy it enough to leave. Do chant Buddhist sutras. The power of prayer and sacred sound is said to repel them. Do leave an offering. If you are in their territory, leave them sake, rice, or salt. Acknowledge their presence and show respect. Do not look them in the eye. This is a sign of direct challenge. Do not run. You can't outrun an Oni. It will only chase you. But the most important rule? Don't go looking for them. The Oni are masters of disguise. They can look like a beautiful woman, a lost child, or an old man. They are testing you, and if you fail the test, they will drag you back to their world, and you will never be seen again. The Oni are more than just monsters. They are a living part of Japan's soul. They represent the fear of the unknown, the untamable power of nature, and the darkness that lies within every human heart. They are a reminder that no matter how advanced our civilization becomes, there are still ancient forces at play. They are in the festivals we celebrate, the stories we tell our children, and the shadows that move at the edge of our vision. They are the guardians of the old ways and the punishers of those who forget. So the next time you walk through a dark forest in Japan, or even in your own hometown, and you hear a strange sound on the wind, a low growl that isn't an animal. Or you feel a sudden, unexplainable chill, just remember the story of the Oni and ask yourself, is it just the wind, or is something ancient, something powerful, and something very, very hungry watching you from the dark? Like if you'll never look at a red demon mask the same way again. Subscribe for more true stories from the shadows. And whatever you do, don't say their name 3 times after midnight. They might just answer.